Hello, welcome back to another video. Thank you for my new subscribers. Thank you to my viewers. This video was actually inspired by an ad. It was for like an online college. And the ad read, I got my notes here. Success looks different for everybody. And I really, really, really love that because we have to continue to ask ourselves what that means for us. Ask ourselves, what do we really want? Not what we watched our family members do, not what we watch friends do, not what we watch mentors and teachers and our people in our community, our neighbors. You know, everybody's life looks different, but no one can have any kind of inner peace, true, authentic happiness if everyone's looking at everyone else, trying to copy everyone else because that's the way it's always been done. And that's a very dangerous way to continue to think, but it comes so naturally to us. It's hardwired. It's all we know. This is how it is. And even with some of the things that you may have heard that have been described as or believed to be, women, characteristics of women, characteristics of men, human nature, how it's always meant to be on an evolution standard or in a spiritual religious standard. Like, okay, family is always been defined as a man and a woman, and then they have their children, and a community has always looked like this, and the governing body has always looked like this, and then where God fits in over the man, and it's always been done this way. It's always supposed to, understanding for you what you believe, where you get your information from, what is going to be your source, and then building off of that. What is going to be your foundation? Because everybody's foundation can't be built in the same way, but it's got to be solid. It's got to be secure. And you got to know for yourself, because if you start looking at everyone else's world with a misunderstanding of their true dynamic and their true motive and their goals and aspirations and all these things, then, it's going to be hard for you to duplicate. It's going to be hard for you to even understand, okay, well, where do I fit in that, and what is it that I'm doing? Excuse me. The old way, I want to touch on this because, our grandparents, aunties, uncles, leaders, the elders, everyone has, no matter what your dynamic is, everyone has had an interaction with someone of a position of, like been there, done that. I know a little something, been around a long time. And they speak on their life. They speak on, and sometimes it's in a positive light. And sometimes it's, you can hear a lot of pain there. You can hear a lot of disappointment. You can hear a lot of struggle. And, like, I had to do what I had to do. And you can receive wisdom, but turn it into what you need it to be. It doesn't mean that you have to emulate that in any way. But respectfully, this is not a new generation versus, like shitting on the old way and, it was all for naught and, no one cares and stuff is outdated. But, everything is just kind of like, let's learn from it. Let's take bits and pieces. Absolutely. And then create a new reality, a new life, new traditions. But you have to know what that is for you. And I share my personal information, my story, my life, my journey, because I want to paint another picture from another perspective so that women can understand that no matter what your background is, no matter where you got started in your journey, no matter what you got started with, it doesn't matter as long as you know what it is you want and where it is you're going. And even if you take time to develop that, you can at least start with self-love and self-care to, start a new reality, and then it goes from there. So some of the things that I grew up hearing or let me get general first. So we know that back in the day, special occasions, that's when you pulled out your Sunday's best, or your good dresses, your good stuff, whatever, the furs, the whatever. Because women dressed a little bit more, with a little bit more, of course the styles have changed, but women took more pride in their pumps, their little sets, their skirts and suit sets, their gloves, their hats, their kerchiefs. We saw the pride in how you presented yourself, how you showed up. I grew up listening to stories of knowing that my great grandfather would come home, and he worked at a shipyard. So he would come home and clean, take a shower, rub his neck with alcohol, and put on like those pressed dress shirts with that starch collar, suspenders, his slacks, dress shoes, a whole nine, and sit and read the newspaper. And like that was his thing, because after a long days of work, earning his money, doing whatever with his little drink, he was the man. I grew up listening to stories of how a lot of my aunties and cousins and my great grandmother, they would take newspapers and go get the fabrics and go to the back then the department stores. They weren't Macy's or anything like that. There were other lines of department stores, but they would look at the clothes, basically window shop, examine the clothes inside and out, make their mental notes, come home, use a newspaper, make their own patterns, and sew their own suits and dresses and coats and all these things. And they were dressed, and they were very stylish and proud of what they could create with what they had. But somewhere in there, wearing your best only for special occasions and church, no, I don't believe in that at all. And so when I would wear something that I feel good in, I love, I'm so excited to, like, where are you going? What you all dressed up for? I'm dressed up for me. I'm dressed up because this is my life. I'm dressed up because I like this. I'm dressed up because I got shit to do. I got places to go. And even if, I'm at home, this is my castle. This is my palace. I'm not going to be slumming around, No, I want to look good. I want to feel good. And I feel good when I look good, And yes, I'm very confident in my natural beauty. Yes, I, can switch it up and go barefaced or whatever. But being secure in both is your power. Another thing, the fine china for guests. That was a biggie, And I remember I was raised like, kids shouldn't, they could break it. You had the little plastic sets. You had Tupperware, not Tupperware, but like the little plastic kitty cups, kitty plates and stuff like that. I said Tupperware. But no, after a while, when I started, I'm going to live every day. I'm not going to wait till New Year's to let my girls have a little plastic cutesy cup and toast or whatever. Like, I taught them to be careful. This is glass. You have to be responsible. I have to be able to trust you, because we can't just bang this around. It can break and then you can cut yourself. But once we established that, they were old enough, they loved drinking milk, juice, sparkling cider, anything out of a wine glass. And then the Dollar Tree one year had these cute little Halloween, like claw goblet, plastic little things. They wore them out. They were using those all year round. And that was a nice little segue because, they were dishwasher safe and they could just, help yourself. Whereas with my wine glasses, I'm like, just remember to be careful. They're a little thinner. But no, I stopped doing that with my kids, where it's like, we eat off paper plates. You can only use this little plastic kitty set. Like, I love setting my table. I loved my fine china sets. I love vintage sets and glasses and things like that. Cutesy teacups. When we have our hot chocolate and our coffee, we set everything out. That was me introducing them to, you create the vibe that you want and the experiences you want. You don't wait for someone to invite you. You don't wait for it to be a date. You don't wait for it to be a special occasion to experience nice things. You know, you're not going to be that one where it's like, we never, you know, wow, this is so like, wow, you know, we're not used to this. Like, no, this is every day. You know, this is normal. This is what everyone should experience, you know? And don't get me wrong, it's not like we walk around with our pinkies up and we're just so like, oh, you know, but yeah, you know, we have glasses and we use regular cups, but I'm saying having an experience of both anytime you want, and knowing that like that, you know, you can give that to yourself. And when I was inspired to challenge everything that I thought was the normal way to do things. So let's use, for example, in the olden days, or, you know, family members or whoever you see, you know, the wife cooks, the wife cleans. You know, sometimes you both work. In my world, it was the best thing to bake bread and homeschool your children. Hold on, y'all. So we homeschool, and it was just, that was my surrounding. That was all I saw, close up and personal. Everyone else seemed to be like off in the distance, and you just kind of like, huh, you know, not that we were my parents and the circle that I was raised with, the other adults, not that they were disapproving, but they definitely just kept a distance from the secular lifestyle. That's a good way to put it. You know, not that they were sinners or lost, or, you know, like, God, they need Jesus or anything like that, but just did things differently. But I also remember once I got out in the world and I was driving and I was going to community college and I was having my hot girl summer, I had to do the old school, tried and true, you know, kiss a couple frogs, you know, make a couple bad friends. Is there such thing as a bad friend? Yes. You know, make a couple mistakes, be in the wrong place at the wrong time, all these things to, go to someone's house, see how they live, get a feel for their dynamic, hear a lot of relationship stories, horror stories, and drama and all this stuff, to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, this is what I don't want. But do I necessarily want to repeat and emulate everything that my family raised me in? Not necessarily. So once I started having children, I wrestled with, well, I can't homeschool. And then during the pandemic, I was like, I don't like homeschooling. I love my children being home, but I'm more of an unschooler. So, you know, giving myself permission to say, this is what I want and this is what I don't want. I don't like to cook. I respect and know that there is power in home cooking and healthy cooking and making better choices and things like that. But I'm not a foodie. I don't, you know, just love being in my kitchen. My baby loves to be in the kitchen. I have taught her how to cook. Got to do what you got to do. But I also chose a partner that he cooks 90% of the time. I'll make a side, I'll make a vegetable, but the rest of the time he thinks about food. He loves food. He's like, I got dinner. But I had to know that that was even an option, that I could make that choice, that I could say, I don't have to bear this burden if I see it as a burden for myself. Someone else, I might be, I don't know, cleaning. Or, you know, whether you enjoy it or not, or whether that's your strong suit or not, you can decide what your whole dynamic and what your life is going to look like. And there are no rules. You get into hot water when you just try to fit into a mold, copycat, and be on autopilot. Pure autopilot, because that's just what's done. No. And I love to see in the dating world, women teaching other women that, like, you have the power to choose this person, because this person will have a huge impact on shaping your life. When you're single, you have full control of the automobile. Your baby's in the back seat, the dog, the cat, the fish. You're driving where you want to go. You're controlling the GPS. You're controlling the air. You're controlling the stereo. You're controlling whether you take the highway or the scenic route. You control whether we take a pit stop, a detour. You're in control of all of that. Now, excuse me, if some single mothers, some women cannot bear that weight, that responsibility, and it's a lot because they got all these other things going on. But when you are in control and you have the power to protect your peace, protect your mental, protect your happiness, protect your boundaries, protect your children from, whatever, and you're in full control of your life, and you're not feeling sorry for yourself, you're not lonely, you're not empty, you're not deprived, you're not broken, you're not bitter, you're not you've changed the total narrative of your life. That's coming from a very different place of empowerment and self-fulfillment. Now, where you choose to take your car is your business. What car you choose to take is your business. You got some people who choose hoopties. You got some people that are like, no, I want top of the line luxury because I'm not doing anything less than the best. Then you got people that let other people get in their cars, that are backseat drivers, got felons and records and drama and shit and baggage and trauma. They're narcissists or this, they're that, they're this, they're that. And then they let them reach over and grab that steering wheel and let them run them off their path. And when the car flips, everyone's sitting around like, I don't know how this happened. Or they let people get in the car, and it may not be as tumultuous, but they still have a lot of say-so in the vibe in the car. They're messing with the controls, and you're like, I'm uncomfortable. That's not what we're doing. No. Or you can allow someone to get in your car that, not only supports, but helps. Not only take some edge off the drive and like, let me drive for a second. I can put it on cruise control. I got you. You lay back and relax. You take a nap. I got the kids. I got everything. This is not just romantic partners. This is friends, family, co-workers, everybody. You control who gets in that car. Can't nobody get in your car if you don't freaking stop. Unlock it and swing the door open and say, hop on in. So this is the visual I'm giving you of the power that you have. So if you only choose co-pilots that, I got you. I'm gonna open your snacks. I can change the radio for you. Let me know when you're ready to switch off. Okay, the GPS is doing something wonky. It's detouring. I got you. The kids in the backseat, they spilling snacks. They, doing what kids do. Okay, you focus on that. I got the kid. That's the kind of person you want in your life and in your car. But you have the power to choose that. The old way was, you had to do what you had to do. The old way was either your parents were y'all were patrols and you were like, I don't even know this person, but we are in this car of life together. Damn. You can, they made it work. Other times you had people who got in the car and back then you just didn't divorce. So when that car flipped over and you had to pick up the pieces from that, all you did was get in another car and get back on that shaky path. Crazy stuff. Crazy. You had some people that, in their life, they had to go get the mega buses, and not only was it them in the car, but they carried the family. They were raising their siblings' children or cousins and all these different dynamics. Sometimes it wasn't even the parents on the front, it was the grandparents. My grandmother was raised by her grandparents, and then later she came to the city to live with her parents that were building and working on moving away from the country life. And so, I give all these examples because it's like, no one can make you go to the dealership and pick a car you don't want. No one can make you pay for a car that you're like, that's not my responsibility. You can't make me do anything I don't want to do. No one can, take you off your path unless you give them that power. You know, why not you? Why not be the person that, makes history in a sense and lives her best life for her? Not what's always been done, not what's, it's just, I'm just going to copy everybody else, but truly knowing and understanding what is it that you need? Where is it that you want to go? What kind of car do you want to use to get there? Because thinking that you have to drive a hoopty that's smoking and chugging and got, 3 tires and a donut that, it's got 200,000 miles on it. That we gotta know. And then we have to also be careful with the old advice of you can just pray on it, you can just anoint it, you can just wait and see to fix all these problems. That don't work in real life, and it's not gonna work in this instance, Everyone knows you cannot lay hands on a car that the car is done. It needs to be taken to the junkyard. You need a do-over. And that's okay. Realizing that you need a do-over is not even half the problem. The issue is when people choose to stay in my hair's sticking up. Stay in these situations. Stay where it's like, you're going nowhere fast. A lot of people don't even get on the path. I'm talking about these road trips. Some people just stay in the parking lot. They get towed. The car got a boot on it. All this drama going nowhere fast. Talking about they in love. Talking about, it is what it is. Everyone's, what you want is your business. What I got and how I got it is my business. I share because, again, you may not know that you can do it at any point in your life. Yeah, we tend to duplicate. I guess I got married too young, too quick, because I thought if you get married, you can't be mad that I'm shacking up and got a baby. When my late husband passed, I didn't begin my healing, my grieving, as I should have, until my daughter was old enough to start asking questions about everything. Because I never hid the fact that, you have a father. Even when I was living with my, at the time, boyfriend, who was my second daughter's father. And he was definitely there. He was playing the father figure, but as far as being the best match to pour into both of us, to support us, to provide for us, and to be in the vehicle of life with us to get us to where I started thinking, I think I need to be way out there. I'm not meant to be here. That's when I started truly unpacking. Like, I did not give myself time to breathe, because then I had to figure out, I had to jump back into life so quickly. That was so traumatizing that I didn't give myself a chance. But I didn't use that as an excuse. It's like I pushed myself to the extreme. And so I masked it with working and dreaming big and just jumping into something that was familiar and you're like, okay, whatever. And that was my 20s. But allowing myself to acknowledge every phase of my choices was the beauty and was the growth. And then deciding me and being honest with myself, because this thing of just staying at a job, in a town, in a relationship with your parents, in touch with cousins, friends, or whoever, that just staying in a spiritual group, staying in whatever, settling and not even recognizing where that you need to, you recognize, let me talk about settling. Let me back it up. Settling is not even like you don't know. Settling is like you know and you feel it, but you're just not moving. It's like driving on a flat tire. And the further you go, you already know the damage is going to now it's going to be the rim. Then that's going to wear down, and then God knows what else will happen. Or driving past, some type of repair that you need. You hear the clicking, you see the signal lights. So settling is really the self-sabotage. It's really, we're not even talking about people that just like, okay, they're on autopilot and they've copied this life, but they're trying because they genuinely think that's the right thing to do. Settling is a whole nother level. And I was settling because I knew, and I should have acted years ago. I should have jumped on years ago. And in another video I made when I was making my Buddha bowl, I was like, I came full circle because I didn't finish my sentence, but I'm thinking about it now. I came full circle because it had always been me. I always had that like, I'm too big. I'm too bright. I'm too expressive. I'm to be fitting in these molds. It was always entrepreneurship. It was always life coaching. It was always travel. And it was always, talking and sharing and encouraging and having fun and being me and showing up. And did I say being loud? And laughing and living life and not doing things because everybody else was doing it. Not being like everybody else. I always had that knack to be going against the grain, thinking outside the box, but I would always I remember before I even went to community college, 2 opportunities came to me to travel the world. One was through a good friend. We were homeschooled together, white boy. And I don't know why he thought of me, but he asked me, did I want to backpack through Europe? And my initial reaction was like, hell yes. Oh my gosh, yes. My parents were like, hell no, you are not. Now, this boy, good family. We were actually really tight. We had gone through our homeschool co-op together. We did like biology and, all these. If you don't know what a co-op is, it's basically like a collective school where you do all your extracurricular activities for homeschoolers. So at home, I would do my main courses, my books, my homework, my tests and stuff like that. But then we 2 or 3 times a week, we'd go to co-op, and that's where we did music, ballet, science, PE, and, field trips and all these different things. And all the different families would either share the expenses of hiring a tutor, or the moms would pitch in, and dads too, some dads, volunteering to provide these activities. So we did that for several years. That was my boy. And that crushed me to my core, because I was like, we didn't even get to backpack how? Backpack where? We might be going with his family. We might be, not just wandering, hitchhiking, but, I'm sure it's more solid than that, but I was shot down. The second opportunity was to be not an exchange student, but when you go to another country through your college and earn credits and stuff like that. I forget what it's called now, but I could never quite get a grasp of figuring it all out, because my parents just didn't like the idea of just being out in the world, and this, if you don't know, most Christians have this thing of the world is it's not safe, it's secular, and it's not where you need to be at a young age to find yourself. You have to, it's just not good. It's not, you don't go out in the world, you don't do things. No fault of my parents. I probably wasn't mature. I probably was not street savvy enough, and very naive, very just, everybody's not your friend. You do have to be safe. You do have to use caution. You do have to move in a way that, you can make mature decisions, but it was a shot down for me. It wasn't a conversation where it's like, why don't you, get on your feet, we just gotta make sure you're not so green before we just want to make sure you're okay. We're not saying you can't and you shouldn't, and it's bad and it's wrong, and the world is this dangerous, playground of the devil. But we just want to, it would have been better to have a conversation like that with me than it just make me feel like, I shouldn't and I can't. It's bad. It's wrong. So skip ahead. When I totally made this whole mind shift change thing, and I'm doing this self-love, self-care, my 30th birthday, I would have loved girlfriends and friends to come. Friends and family, I mean. I would love my parents to come. They've taken cruises before. Cruises that I did not go on. I didn't even have enough money to go. But my 30th, I booked that cruise so quick. I would love for you to go. If you can't, I understand. That was more of my spiel. What are you doing for your birthday? Going on a cruise. I get it, it's short notice, it's a lot. But yep, we'll be back. I was gone 7 days. I didn't turn on my cell phone plan until the 4th day. My baby daddy was so pissed off because he didn't know where I was, and how could I take my children out the country? And I was like, calm down. Any other time, you got wind somehow. Any other time, I don't hear from you. I call you when I need you to watch them so I can go to work. So stop the cap, as my daughter would say. Stop the bullshit. So a lot of pushback. I had people on my cruise like, you're alone? You poor thing, let me help you with that, But I didn't let that bother me. I didn't let that stop me. And I had the best time. But I'm sharing all that to say that only you can live your life, so only you should be creating and deciding for your life. But do you have enough strength, willpower, and confidence to question everything that you do or believe or act on because that's just all you know? Or are you going to take your time and say, okay, now when it comes to this, how do I really feel and what do I really want? Clarity. So after I had done all this work, all these years, I was like, I'd be damned if I go backwards. I'm never going backwards. I might make a mistake on a new thing, on something I don't know, and learn from it and pull from it, but I'm not going backwards. So some of the things I wasn't going to repeat, you're going to take risk, calculated risk and everything. No relationship is foolproof and perfect. No new anything is going to be, perfect. So let's use relationship, for example, last call. When I decided to join my life with another man, with my children involved, uproot my life, move to another state, quit my job, change schools, leave everything behind, sublease my townhome. I was like, I've had ample time to make sure that this is everything I want on my terms. And, everyone was kind of scratching their head like, well, this was quick. And I'm like, well, this has actually been brewing for a while, but it's no one's business. And this is what I needed to be. It's overnight to you, but it's not to me. It's surprising to you, but it's not surprising to me. Because I've made sure, I've triple checked that this is what I want it to be and what I need it to be. So, everyone will make their little comments and they were like, wow, so you're going to work out there, no. Well, just little things. I could go on and on with all the little ins and outs. well, just be careful. Just make sure, you're like, okay, thank you. Because at the end of the day, it's so different and so foreign that it's like, how could you be moving like this? Why do you think you should? You can move like that because I made that choice, because I'm an adult now, because I'm grown now, because I have to live this life, not you, but me. So, like, and on a more comical side, my grandma would be like, well, what are you cooking for dinner? I'm like, I'm not cooking anything for dinner. I haven't even thought about dinner. Baby will be home. I don't know, whatever he wants to make. Oh, I tell you, y'all young folk do things different now. You need to make that man's food and make his plate and holidays. Oh, are you cooking every dish for Thanksgiving? No, I don't put that kind of pressure on myself because I don't like to cook like that. We doing potluck. Everybody's coming over and they're bringing whatever they want to eat. And I think I might make a salad. I don't know. Definitely going to choose the wine though. Oh, well, you just at least make sure that, everything is, you got to set your house and entertain and be a good hostess. And I was like, stop right there, because I'm not shucking and jiving and trying to impress anybody. This is my house. They're coming into my home. Whatever I give them is whatever it is. Now, I'm not going to give them cookout red cups and paper plates. I know how to, do things, but that is the little comments that, we don't have to live like that anymore. Yes, it's good to be hospitable. I know how to be hospitable. I know how to, let me take your coat. Have a seat. Can I get you a glass of water or wine, or put your dish over there? You can, the two ovens are on warmer. You can put there's a microwave there. Make yourself at home. But this whole thing of, oh my God, my future mother-in-law is coming over, and my sister-in-law, my new sister-in-law to be, my brother-in-law to be, his girlfriend, the kids, everybody. Oh my God, and I have to just start pulling out my hair and stressing and like, I gotta impress everyone. They're judging me. I've got to make sure that they think I'm perfect and everything is set and da-da-da-da-da. No, stop it. No, that is the old way. This is the new way. I don't care what you think either way, but I'm going to be nice, and I love my grandmother, and my grandmother can only share and give and try to pour into me with what she has. But I don't have to take that as like a slight or, oh my God, I'm doing this wrong. My grandma said, I gotta do it like this, I gotta do it like that, I gotta bear this cross and all these things. It's a complete and utter, it's okay. It's okay to be utterly secure, and that's not what I'm doing anymore. And to tactfully and kindly and gently let everyone know, this is my boundary. You have to respect that this is my life. And how I run my home and the choices that I have made is what I wanted. It's not for everybody. If you and your husband want to split bills, if you and your husband want to split the household chores, if you and your husband feel like this is what the children need, if you and your husband decide, that's your business. If it works for you and you are completely happy and you don't feel like you're just doing this because you have no other choice, then by all means, baby. And I'm going to be over here and as for me and my household, we and everyone lives happily ever after. So cut yourself some slack, get a notebook, get something to record it all, flush it all out, and start dreaming and start creating and start choosing you and choosing the life that you want. Thank you for watching. Until the next one. Peace. Bye.